So, dear students, so today our topic is nucleic acid metabolisms. So, already you know the nucleic acids are the DNA and RNA. So, they are made up of the nucleoside and as well as the nitrogenous base, then sugar, phosphate, or they are made up of the adenine, guanine, uracil, thiamine, and cytosines. Okay, so these are the basic component of the DNA and as well as the RNA. And DNA, RNA, so they are play an important role in the to regulations of the various biochemical reactions in our body. Mainly, so they are involved in the synthesis of the proteins. So that protein is required for the development and growth of the body as well as repairing of the organs and plasma membranes and as well as the synthesis of the new proteins, new hormones, new enzymes, many biochemicals. So they are required for the life of the human beings. So they are synthesized from the nucleic acid. So that's why today we can discuss regarding the nucleic acid metabolisms. So first we can go for the nucleotides. So dear students, so nucleotides are the parts of the nucleic acids. They are the parts of DNA and RNA. So these nucleosides, so they are mainly composed of the nitrogenous base as well as so they are consist of the pentose sugar and as well as a phosphate group. It means the nucleotides, so they are made up of the nitrogenous substances or bases, then as well as one pentose sugar and a phosphate group. So regarding the structures of the nucleosides, so these nucleotides, so they are mainly consist of the nucleobase or nitrogenous base. Along with them, so they consist of the sugar and they are combined with the phosphate. So those molecules are known as the nucleotide, and nucleotide is the basic framework for the nucleic acid, that is the DNA and as well as the RNA. And here the nucleobase are the nitrogenous bases. So when they are present along with the sugar, so those are known as the nucleosides. Once again, these nucleosides, so when they are combined with the phosphate, and they are known as the nucleotides. So nucleotides, so these are the consist of nitrogenous substance or nucleobase or nucleoside along with the phosphate group. So such substances are known as the nucleotides, and these nucleotides, so they are mainly involved in the formations of the framework of regarding the nucleic acids like a DNA and as well as the RNA. And these nitrogenous bases, so they are aromatic heterocyclic compounds. So nucleobase are nitrogenous bases, so they are present in the nucleotides, so they are aromatic heterocyclic compounds, and these aromatic heterocyclic compound are nitrogenous bases. So they are mainly categorized into two types. One is the purine base and another is the pyrimidine base. So example for purine is adenine and guanine. So adenine is also known as the 6 amino purine and guanine is also known as the 2 amino 6 oxypurine. So these are the purine derivatives or purine nucleotides. Both adenine and guanine, so they are involved in the framework of the DNA as well as RNA. So regarding the pyrimidines, so they are 3 in numbers. Purines are 2 in numbers, and the pyrimidines, those are involved in the formations of the nucleotides or formation of DNA, RNA. So those are the 3 in number. One is the cytosine, then thiamine, then as well as the uracil. The cytosine, that is the 2-oxy 4 amino pyrimidine, and thiamine is the 2,4-dioxy 5-methyl pyrimidine, and uracil is known as the 2,4-dioxy pyrimidine. So these are the basic structures of the framework of the DNA and RNA, especially DNA. Okay, and DNA and RNA. So the life of the any living things, including human beings, microorganisms, viruses, bacteria, fungi, whatever the living organisms are there, so their life was mainly depending upon the nucleic acids. And nucleic acid, so these are mainly formed by a purines and pyrimidines, including today era, that is the COVID virus. It is also consist of the certain purines and pyrimidines. Okay, and everywhere, so including the cancer cells, so those are also made up of cells, and those cells are also consist of the DNA and RNA, but that should be the malfunction DNA and RNA, but those are also consist of purines and pyrimidines. Okay, if any drug, any therapy, if any molecule, if so they are inhibit the purine and pyrimidines, their action. Okay, so then definitely, so those are inhibit the DNA and RNA. So lack of DNA and RNA in a cancer cells, so then the growth of the cancer can be diminishes, or the cancer can be treated. So that's why the purine and pyrimidines are the main target for many antibiotics. So those are used in the treatment of the various infections along with the cancers. Okay, so those drug, so they are inhibit the synthesis of purine or pyrimidines, or so their structure similar to the purine and pyrimidine. By mistake, by a cancer cell to detect the purines and pyrimidine, instead of purine and pyrimidines, so they are take the drug. So because the drug structure is also similar to the purines, and also similar to the some are pyrimidine similarity, some are analog of adenosine, some are analog of guanosine, some are analog of cytosine, or some are analog of thymines, or some analog of the uracils. Okay, so their structure is similar to the, so these molecule. So instead of they take the purines, so they can take the drugs. Then there is no completions of the DNA was taken place in the cancer cells as well as in the microorganisms. So that's why, so their growth can be stunted. So like that, so those drug, so they are treat the infection disease that can caused by the microorganisms, or they can control the growth of the cancers. Even in our body, certain drugs are there, and as well as certain radiations are there, especially the gamma rays, X rays, and UV radiations. So these are also inhibit the growth of our body or organs by inhibiting the synthesis or biosynthesis of purine and pyrimidines. So those people, so they are working in the operation theaters, or they are exposed to the UV rays, gamma rays, X rays, definitely. So those people, they are suffering from the mal growth, or there is a growth cannot be occurred due to the deficiency of the nucleic acid like DNA and RNA by inhibiting the formations of the nitrogen bases like purines as well as the pyridines. So that's why the purine and pyrimidines, so these are the main target for many drugs. If you also discover the drug, if your drug structure is similar to the purines and pyrimidine means, so that drug definitely it will be helpful for the treatment of the cancer, or helpful for treatment of the various microbial infection, or from the your ancient history, from your family history, or from the grandmother, grandfather, so where you can got some knowledge, so regarding the, so these are the drugs are there, these are the plants are there, so this is the therapy is there, the mixing of so components, it becomes something is there, by eating, by taking of those drugs, so they are enhance the protein synthesis. So they are advised those for the increase the growth or increase the protein synthesis in your body. So definitely, so those therapy given by your grandfather, grandmother, somewhere, so they are enhance the synthesis of DNA and RNA. So as the number of DNA RNA increases in our body, the protein synthesis increases. So as the protein synthesis in our body increases, automatically the growth of the body towards the healthy, that was also increases, because by eating up the lot of lipids and fat, then also our body weight increases. That is not a healthy growth. But by eating up the proteinous substances, or those substances, they enhance the protein synthesis, and such substances, so they are helpful for to maintain the healthy growth, or to helpful for to maintain the healthy weight. So that's why the antioxidants, by taken of antioxidant like vitamin C, vitamin E, so they are helpful for to improve the growth and abolish the stunted growth, so where the growth is not happen. So if you're taken antioxidant, always you look like a fresh, because those antioxidant, so they inhibit the malfunctioning of the purines and pyrimidines, or DNA and RNA. So those are healthy DNA RNA involved in the continuously supply of the energy, or continuous supply of the proteins. So that's why we become the healthy. We are healthy because the proteins is the basic molecule. It was required for the framework of the body, growth of the body, as well as the synthesis of hormones and enzymes. So those are all metabolites or biomolecule. So they are required for our normal health, or to promote our health, or keep the away from us to the disease. So that's why, so should we prefer the food or a technique, so those are enhance the even the synthesis of the purine and pyrimidines, or they consist of the lot of the nucleotides in their food. Due to that, we got the more purines and pyrimidines, then our health and growth will be the improve. Okay, so this is the regarding the nucleotides. So now we can learn regarding the nomenclatures of bases, nucleosides, and as well as the nucleotides. So these nucleotides are nucleic acids. So they are mainly classified into two types. That is the RNA, also known as the ribose sugar. No, sorry, RNA. That is the uh, ribonucleic acid. Is consist of the sugar. That is the ribose sugar. And second one is the DNA. It is known as the deoxyribonucleic acid. It consists of the sugar. That is the D deoxyribose sugar. So RNA, it mainly consists of the base, that is the adenine and guanine, and adenine and guanines are the purine bases. Adenine is denoted by A and guanine is denoted by the G, and it consists the pyrimidine bases like cytosine and uracils. So when they are combined with the ribose sugar, so they are known as the ribonucleosides. So then adenine become the adenosine, guanine become the guanosine, cytosine become the cytidine, and uracil become the uridines. So when the same ribonucleoside, so they are combined with the, or by additions of the phosphate groups, so those are known as the ribonucleotide. So like that, the RNA, it was mainly consist of the adenylate, guanylate, citidylate, and uridylate in the structure of the RNA. So RNA is a single strand. Okay, it is consist of the only one strand. So it mainly consists of purine bases like adenine and guanine, and pyrimidine bases like a cytosine and uracil. So regarding the DNA, so DNA mainly consists of the nitrogenous bases like a adenine, guanine, cytosine. Instead of uracil, the DNA, it consists of the thiamine. Okay, in DNA, the uracil is not present. It was replaced by the thiamines. Then, so they can combine with the, reacts with the deoxyribose sugar. Then the becomes the deoxyribose nucleosides like deoxyadenosine from the adenine. Then guanine plus deoxyribose sugar, that it become the deoxyguanosine. So like that, cytosine become the, that deoxycytidine, and thymine become the thymidines. Then they react when there are additions of the phosphate groups, so they are become the, that is the deoxyribonucleotides. So those are deoxyadenylate, then deoxyguanylate, deoxycytidine, and thymidylate. So they are denoted as the DAMP, deoxygmp, deoxycmp, deoxyTMP. So these are the basic molecule or nucleotides. So they are present in the DNA, and DNA is a double strand DNA. In somewhere, the DNA also consists of the multi-strand, 3, 4, like that. So, but in the basically, it is a double strand DNA. are consists of double strand. It consists of bases like adenine, guanine, cytosine, and as well as thymine. So that thymine is absent in the RNA. So this is regarding the nomenclatures of the bases or nucleosides, nucleotide of the RNA as well as DNA. So only the difference is between RNA and DNA is that is a sugar, pentose sugar. So RNA containing pentose sugar, ribose sugar, and DNA containing the pentose sugar is the deoxyribose. And second one is the RNA containing uracil as a pyrimidine basis, and DNA containing instead of uracil, the pyrimidine base present in the DNA is a thymine. It is denoted as the TAPE. So this is the nomenclatures regarding the RNA as well as the DNA. So now the important question that is regarding the that is the nucleotides. It is supply is need the continuously. Okay, so whatever the nucleotides, so they supply to their body, so their bases in the form of the food or nucleic acid from the food we required continuously, because so these are essential for the many life process. So that's why somewhere they told that an ample supply of nucleosides is essential for many life process. Okay, so there is need to continuous supply the nucleotides to maintain the life process of the human beings and life process of the microorganisms or any living organisms. If you cut the nucleotide supply continuously, automatically the growth can be stunted, the growth is decreases. Even in the human beings, if you are not having the nucleic acids in your food, definitely your growth can be stunted. Even you are taken the lot of proteins, so that protein cannot be workable, because lack of DNA and RNA, the protein what protein required for our body, so that protein cannot be synthesized. So that's why in your food you should be monitor, you should be take the balanced diet. Balanced diet means not in the way in the weight. So daily I need 500 gram means only you can need 500. That is not the balanced diet. Balanced diet means should be consist of the correct amount of carbohydrates that was required for body. It consists of the proteins, what proteins that required for body. Even it consists of the sufficient amount of the lipid, because lipid is required for synthesis of cholesterol. Cholesterol is required for the synthesis of various steroid hormones. So that was required for the to maintain the growth of the body. Example the testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. And as well as so that our food, it consists of the multivitamins. It consists of the nucleotides, because nucleotides they are required for the DNA RNA synthesis, and DNA RNA is required for synthesis of protein. Protein is required for the growth or to maintain the life process of the human beings. So that's why you should be take the, you do not take lot of food, you should be take the balanced food, so that was sufficient to maintain the your health. So because so first reason, so that was to maintain the continuous supply of nucleosides to the human beings, to maintain the various life process, because the nucleosides are activated the precursors of the nucleic acids. So nucleic acids are the DNA and RNA. So the DNA and RNA are activated are formed from the nucleotides like a adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, and uracil. So these are the nucleotides. So they are required for synthesis of the nucleic acid, and as well as so they are necessary for the replications of the genome. Okay, continuously the genome or DNA molecule is replicated or RNA molecule is replicated. Okay, so replication nothing but multiplications. Replication nothing but remove the damaged bases. So after functioning of the metabolic reactions, certain toxic substances are produced or free radicals are produced. So they are damages the base nitrogen bases in the DNA strand. So that was continuously replaces by the phenomena. So that was known as the replications of the genome. So that was helpful for the multiplications of the genome or DNA and RNA, as well as the replacement of the malfunctioned DNA or nitrogenous bases, and as well as so they are required for the transcriptions of the genetic information into a RNA. So already you know the genetic informations, so that was stored in the DNA. So that was transported to the cytoplasma or towards the nucleus, that is towards the ribosomes for synthesis of the proteins. Okay, ribosomes are playing the important role in the protein synthesis, but that ribosomes they are having the RNA. So those RNA, so they require the carries the message from the nucleic acid from the DNA. So that's why, so these nucleotides, so they are required for the conversions of DNA into RNA, and those RNAs consist of the message. So that message is reaches to the, that is the, towards the our ribosomes. Then the ribosomes, with the help of the another RNA, it was involved in the synthesis of the desired proteins, hormones, substances, as well as the certain characters. So they are transported from mothers to offspring. So that is also one of the role of the nucleotides. So those are involved in the framework of the DNA and as well as RNA. And here the RNA, so there are mainly three types: mRNA, messenger RNA, that carries a message from the nucleus from the DNA, then tRNA, so that was transport the amino acids, and rRNA, that was known as ribosomal RNA, so that was present in ribosomes. That was it was play an important role in the protein synthesis by reading the message on the mRNA, and with the help of the tRNA it can got the amino acids, then it was involved in the synthesis of protein. So that's why the continuous supply of the nucleotide that was necessary for to maintain the genetic materials in our body regarding the replications of genome or regarding the transcriptions of the genetic information into a RNA from DNA to the RNA. And second reason, that is, so an adenosine nucleotide, so it is a ATP. Okay, it is also known as the ATP when it is combined with the sugar as well as the phosphate group. So that adenosine, it was known as the ATP. So ATP is the universal currency of energy. So adenine, it was play an important role in the formations of ATP. It is converted into ATP when it can reacts with the combined with the sugar, that is pentose sugar, as well as the phosphate group. So that ATP, so whatever they formed, so that ATP already you know it is regarding the source of the energy. So that's why the continuous supply of nucleotides, that is adenine, is required to maintain the energy level in our body. If you're having the good energy level, means all the metabolic reactions regarding the carbohydrate metabolism, protein metabolism, then even nucleic acid metabolism, and as well as the lipid metabolism. So they require somewhere. So they require the ATP. So utilize the ATP. Finally, so they are involved in the synthesis of the ATP also. So that's why the continuous supply of adenine, it is required for to maintain the energy level in your body. So that's why you should be maintain the continuous supply of the nucleotides. So next one is the third reason for continuous supply of the nucleotides to maintain the life of our living organisms, because so nucleotides are the nucleotide derivatives such as UDP glucose. So that was participate in the biosynthesis or formations of the glycogen. So already you know, so the glycogen is the FD for energy source. Excess of the glucose, so that was converted into glycogens, and glycogen is known as the FD for the human body. So that glycogen, in the case of the starvations or emergency, so that glycogen was converted into glucose, and glucose was involved in the continuously supply of the energy or ATP. Okay, so then here one of the nucleotide derivatives like a UDP glucose, so that was a participate, that was involved in the biosynthesis of the glycogens. Okay, so that's why the nucleotides are also involved in the to store the energy or to store the precursors. So that was required for energy in the form of the glycogens. So next is the fourth one. The nucleotides are also essential component of signal transductions pathway. Okay, the cells, so they communicate each other. So one cell can communicate with the another cell. So that was known as the communications or a signal transductions pathway. For good example, so when the sugar level was increases, okay, so that sugar is reaches to the beta cells of the pancreatic gland. So any one of the beta cells, okay, so that can gather the glucose signals, then it can generate the message. So glucose level was increased in our blood or blood in the of the body. So due to that we need to secrete the insulin. So that message was transmitted to the neighboring cells. Okay, so that is was known as the signal transductions, or the one neuron can communicate with the another neuron and involved in the regulate the unique functions, because the brain consists of the million trillions of the neurons and particular group of neurons, so they work under the particular functions regarding the vision, regarding the heart rate, regarding the respiration. So all are involved in the regulations of the respirations. Okay, particular. So how they are communicate each other? So with the help of the signaling molecules such as that is cyclic AMP and cyclic GMP. So these are the derivatives of the nucleotides. These are the cyclic nucleotides. So these are involved in the transmissions of the message between the cells or within the cells. So inside the cells also, the cell organelles are communicate each other. So with the help of these signaling molecules, or one cell can communicate with the another cell. So with the help of these signaling molecules. So that's why. So these signaling molecules, they are found from the nucleotides. So AMP found from the ATP or adenine, and GMP, cyclic GMP is formed from the guanosines, and both cyclic AMP and cyclic GMP is considered as the secondary messenger. So those are involved in the to carry the message from one cell to another cell, or from one organelle to the another organelles of the within the cell also. So that's why, so due to these four reasons, so there is a need to continuously to supply the nucleotides for to maintain the life process in the living organisms. So now we learn regarding the biosynthesis of purine nucleotides. So already you know the purine nucleotides are mainly adenine and as well as the guanine. So purines, so one of the two families of the nitrogen containing molecules called the nitrogen bases. The purines are the family of the nitrogen bases. The family of the nitrogen bases mainly categorized into two types. One is the purines and another is the pyrimidines. So that's why purines are the nitrogen containing molecule called the nitrogen bases. So common substances like caffeine are purines. So whatever caffeine you are taken from the coffee or from the tea, so they are from the chocolate, so that caffeine is also purine derivatives. So like that, the purine is also utilized for the development of the drugs like a theophylline, theophylline. So these are used in the treatment of the asthma or bronchial asthma. So these are all are derivatives of the purines, or the derivatives of the caffeines. Okay, so that's why the purine derivatives, so they are also used in the development of the many medications. Okay, so as well as, so the purines, so they are essential parts of the DNA. They are required for the synthesis of the DNA, and from the DNA the RNA was transcripted, the RNA is formed. So that's why the purines derivatives whatever are there, that is in guanine, so they are required for the synthesis or framework of the DNA as well as the RNA. And here the purines nucleotides, so they are mainly synthesized in our body by two process. So one is the de novo synthesis pathway. So with the help of the essential substances, so the purine bases, the purine nucleotides, so they are synthesized. Okay, completely new processes occurs simply. Okay, so they are utilized the molecule, so that was required for the formations of the base of the purine, and such process is known as the de novo synthesis pathway. And second pathway, that was known as the Slavage pathway. Slavage pathway means, so after metabolism of nucleic acid, once again adenine, guanine, whatever the components are there, so they are formed, so they are reutilized for the synthesis of the purine nucleotide, and that phenomena or pathway or mechanism is known as the Slavage pathway. So the de novo synthesis pathway means the de novo synthesis of purine nucleotide means to using the phospholipase, then amino acids are one carbon unit and carbon dioxide as a raw material to synthesize the purine nucleotide from the beginning. Start from they are involved in the formations of the base of the purine, basic base. After that, they are converted into guanine and adenine by utilizing the raw materials. From the raw material like the phosphoribose amino acids, then as well as the carbon dioxide or carbon. So then they are involved in the formations of the purine nucleotides, and that pathway is known as the de novo synthesis pathway, and the de novo synthesis pathway of the purine synthesis is the main synthesis pathway and is also considered as the major pathway. Major means maximum amount of the purine nucleotides. So in our body, so they are synthesized from the de novo synthesis pathway. Okay, then also other source, that is the Slavers pathway is also there. So they are also helpful for synthesis of the purine nucleotides. The Slavers pathway is the pathway in which the nucleotides are synthesized from the intermediate in the degenerative pathway for the nucleotides. Certain intermediates are there, so those are involved in the synthesis of purine. For example, is the xanthine derivatives are there. Okay, so those xanthanines, so they are the intermediate compounds of the purines, or after metabolism of the nucleosides, certain intermediate compound are produced. So those intermediate compound, so they are utilized for the synthesis of the purine, and that pathway is known as the Slavage pathway, and this pathway is considered as the minor pathway. So maximum of the purine nucleotides, so that was synthesized from the de novo synthesis pathway. So that's why, so that pathway, de novo synthesis pathway, is known as the major pathway, and Slavage pathway is known as the minor pathway. Okay, so next one regarding the de novo synthesis of the purine. So many compounds, so that can contribute in the synthesis of the purine rings. Okay, so this is the basic structure or molecule of the purine, so that was required for the synthesis of adenine and guanine. So they will be having the basic molecule or ring. So that ring was synthesized from the various intermediate compounds. So like, so the N1, so this N1, okay, so that was added to the basic molecule of purine from a aspartate. It means the aspartate can donate the N1 or nitrogen 1 to the synthesis of the purine base. Okay, then carbon C2 and C8, so they are formed from the, are donated by the format of N10 formyl, that is TH, tetrahydrofolic acid. So this format amino acid, so that was donate the C2 carbon 2 and carbon 8. So this carbon 2 and carbon 8, so that was added to the purine bases from a format of N10 formyl tetrahydrofolic acid. Then regarding the N3, there is another nitrogen N3 and N9. So this is the N3 and N9. So these are numbering. It means the second nitrogen and third nitrogen, but their position is in the ring is a third position and ninth positions. But it is actually the second nitrogen and third nitrogen. First nitrogen added here and second nitrogen here and third nitrogen is the here. So that nitrogen or amide group was supplied by the glutamate or glutamines. So that is why glutamine is also amino acid. So that was supplied or that was donated the, or that was contribute in the synthesis of the, or adding of the nitrogen, second nitrogen, that is N3 N4 nitrogen into the purine bases. Then regarding the carbon atom 4, carbon atom position 5 and nitrogen position in the 7, so that was added to the purine bases by the contributions of the glycine. And regarding the carbon atom in the position C6, So that was contributed by the bicarbonate. So that bicarbonate is directly came from the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide, it can react with the water in the presence of the carbonic anhydrase enzyme. It can form the H2CO3, that is dihydrogen carbonate. But that dihydrogen carbonate is an unstable compound. It was easily dissociate into hydrogen and as well as the bicarbonate. So that bicarbonate, it was the source for, or it was contribute the additions of the carbon atom in the sixth positions in the purine ring. So like that, the aspartate, then formate, glutamate, glycine and bicarbonates acts as the building blocks for the purine synthesis. So this purine synthesis, it can occur by series of reactions. Okay, mainly the synthesized from the ribonucleotides, that is the nitrogen base plus the ribo sugar plus phosphate, rather than the free bases. The purine synthesis, it was start from the, are derived from the inosine 5 monophosphate, that was the IMP. So that IMP, it was formed from the series of 11 reaction by utilizations of the aspartate, formate, glutamate, glycine and carbon atom from the bicarbonate. Then it was involved in the synthesis of the precursors like inosine 5 monophosphate, that was known as the IMP. So that's why the IMP, that is the inosine 5 monophosphate, is the starting material precursors. So that was required for the synthesis of the adenine as well as the synthesis of the guanine. Okay, so next we learn regarding the locations of de novo synthesis of purine from the forthcoming classes.